Yes, we're normally at the West Wave Aquatic Centre in Auckland for major swimming events, but it's a fresh look today. We're at the Sir Owen Glen Swimming Aquatic Centre here, and it's at Mairangi Bay on the North Shore. It's taken me a while to get my mouth around the title for it because it is absolutely brand new. And this is the third Zonal Championships, the third of those. The first two have been very successful. It's an event in which New Zealand swimming is split up into 4 zones, and the swimmers are actually swimming not for themselves or their clubs or their provinces, but for teams. So it's something quite unique and very exciting, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, John, this is a really unique format. But normally swimmers are swimming for their club, and it's all about their club. But suddenly clubs go out the back door. They're swimming for their team, as you've mentioned, and their region. And it's a totally different format. So you're suddenly racing with people that you don't normally compete with, or you normally compete against, and they're part of your team. So suddenly coaches that you don't normally work with, you're working with them. So a new format altogether.
If any of you have seen the US collegiate system, then they do it well, don't they? This is basically what it's based on.
Oh, look, if you ever want to see the most exciting, invigorating and energetic swim meet anywhere in the world, it's the US collegiate program, and they are just a fantastic. It's just all in, the camaraderie, the energy that the athletes show. It's fantastic.
But for the individuals who are here, is it just about fun, or are there some advantages?
No, look, this is a big advantage. This is in a 50-metre pool. We're 6 weeks away from the New Zealand Olympic trials, and they're being swum in this pool. So what a chance to have a shot in it in a less competitive environment and all about your team. But, you know, you can just relax into this meet but get the feel of it as well. So a good chance to step into 6 weeks away from the Olympic trials.
All right, well, it is a very heavy program. It's 4 hours practically of non-stop swimming, and we start with relays. Normally you'd end a meeting like this with relays, but we're starting with relays, so you get a chance to see some of these outstanding swimmers in the 15 and under and 16 and over. That's the age groups you've got. We've got breaststroke and butterfly early on in the 800 metres freestyle. It's swum in 2 sessions. So in the middle session, we come away with this Legends Relay, in which we'll see some of the outstanding past swimmers of New Zealand. They're swimming in 50-metre relays. And later on, of course, we have the second session, and it ends with that all-in-one relay, which was absolutely fantastic. We've got our first race coming for you in just a moment. Yes, well, everyone is very excited here. You could tell that we were, Mark Bowen and myself. We've seen 2 of these meetings. We've loved them. The swimmers have come to love them. The coaches are getting involved, and chatting to some of the coaches earlier on, they really feel that this event is beneficial to their young chargers, particularly for the season ahead with, as we mentioned, Nationals not that far away. We're beginning with the 200-metre medley relay for under 15 women. So we'll see all 4 of the zones. Now the All-Stars, Aquanites, Harlequins and Marcos. Starting down here in lane 6, it's the Southern Marcos. And in lane 5, it's Harlequins. And lane 4, Aquanites, and lane 3, All-Stars. All the Marcos swimmers wearing those silver or grey caps here, and Emily Barron is the first of their swimmers from Aqua Gym. She's away as the lead-off swimmer for Southern Marcos. Harlequins have Rebecca Chain, and it's Maggie Franks from Aquanites. They have that teal sort of cap, and the All-Stars in black on the far side. That's Macy Burns, all 15 years of age or thereabouts in this first event.
John, you probably noticed on the start of the 50 metres backstroke, a new innovation, and this is a worldwide innovation brought in by FINA, the international governing body, and it allows the backstrokers just to get a better start. Well, we'll talk about that the next time we see it, but it's something that we should probably focus on, because the rest of New Zealand wouldn't have seen this at any meet so far. So we're into the breaststroke leg. This is the all-important. So the specialist breaststrokers, remember, they're swimming now for their zones, for their region, and points are up for grabs. You want to make sure that you start the meet. You definitely don't want to get a disqualification. So the changeover is really important. The changeover is important for a number of reasons. 1, you don't want a disqualification, but 2, you can make gains on a changeover, or you can lose time on the changeover. We saw 2 really good changeovers there in lanes number 3 and lane number 6. That was the Southern Marcos and the All-Stars.
Yes, it was Shannon Szymanski from Wanganui who led the All-Stars through on that breaststroke leg. They're in now to the butterfly. We've got Kate Sims of All-Stars in the black up at the top, down at the bottom, Kyra Forrest from Whanganui. She's in the Southern Marcos grey cap and may well have taken the lead. And Kiana Swain and Grace Suchun are swimming for Harlequins and Aquanites as they head home. And it's the big tussle, lanes 3 and 6, Southern Marcos down below. They won the first zonal championship. Up at the top there, it's Chelsea Edwards, who's been a stunning age group swimmer. She's smashed a lot of Rebecca Perrett's records in the Wellington region, and she is going to bring home the All-Stars team in the first event of the night.
Wow, interesting too. The Marcos came in over the top of the Marcos came in over the top of the Harlequins team too. But boy, what a start that is for the All-Stars team. John, you talked about Chelsea Edwards. She's broken the legend Rebecca Perrett's New Zealand records. And if you can break a New Zealand record by Rebecca Perrett, you are somebody to watch out for.
So we won't see individual names go up during the night. It's all about teams, as we've mentioned. The All-Stars winning the first event, Marcos second, Aquanites third, and Harlequins in fourth place. It's 26 points for first, 21 for second, 17 and then 12. And then in individual events, we'll have full squads of 8 and 10, 8, 6 and 4. The points go.
So John, just having a look now, have a look at these blocks. So what you've got is that on the top of the starting blocks, you have these contraptions. So the swimmers can alter how far the footrest can be down under the water. Now you alter that according to your own ability, your flexibility, and the ability that you have to drive off the wall. So the swimmers will get in, they'll still take up the starting position as normal using the I guess what you'd call on the blocks and sills the handrails, but their feet now have got a bit of an elevation advantage. You'll be able to hook those feet and actually use it as a bit of a pyramid ledge and get a lot more elevation off the wall. What it does do is actually slow down the meet a little bit too, because they have to set them, and it takes a little bit of time to roll them up, as we're seeing here.
Just see that lane 3, yeah, one of them, the last one to be set. So they're set in little grooves on the normal platform, as you can see, and they're strapped down into the water. So the swimmers can grip those now white contraptions there you can see, and you watch as they get into the water now. It's the first time we've seen them at a New Zealand pool. Some of them are using them. No, they're not.
No, in fact, they all are using them, but you watch how much more elevation they will get. See their feet just curled onto the top of the ledge.
So there's a little ledge under there that you could see they were using to get that elevation, and for some it will be a first up experience of those. And it's a very good start here. We've got Harlequins in lane 6 closest to the camera. That's Zach Dell, David Bowles for Aquanites in lane 5, Thomas Watkins of All-Stars in 4, and up at the top this time, Southern Marcos with Hunter Wilson.
So a really good start there in lane number 6 from Zach Dell from the Harlequins team. Harlequins, of course, are made up of the Auckland, Northland and Counties region. We'll go through the various regions as we go through this meet. So Harlequins made up of Auckland, Northland and Counties Manukau.
Watching down closest to the bottom of this pool here in the white cap, that's Bailey Wang of Harlequins. Next to him is Josh Gilbert. Xavier Hill is in 3rd place, and up at the top for Ku Kitahara of Southern Marcos. Butterfly leg now, and it's Jordan Wilson. 3rd leg for Harlequins.
Interesting, Jordan has just moved towards the lane rope a little bit in the lane number 6. Jordan Wilson in lane number 6. He is the lead swimmer for the Harlequins team. Really nice butterfly, beautiful kick that he's got in his elevation there.
15-year-old from Parnell he is, and he hands over to the freestyler, and the freestyler for Harlequins is Tyron Henry. Chris Johnson for Aquanites, Mitchell Cockburn of All-Stars, and Jacob Blomfeld of Southern Marcos. But a big all-the-way win for Harlequins in race 2 tonight of the 3rd zonal championships.
I like the way too that he just buried that head in the last 10 metres or so, didn't breathe going into the wall. So a really good finish there. Really quite a talented 14-year-old Tyron Henry from the Harlequins team.
So top points for Harlequins. Harlequins picking up the maximum points for this, so they'll join the All-Stars after 2 events. Aquanight's second, All-Stars in 3rd place, Marco's in 4th.
What needs to be emphasised, John, is that all teams score points. Now, we'll see the ledge that we were talking about now. We're seeing this in lane number 4, just getting lowered into the water. The referee will come over and just make sure that everything is legal about how they have put them down into the water. Quite cumbersome things too. You just got to be careful. They get caught up very easily, and you'll see that they're at different heights on each of the lanes. Now, those swimmers will set them according to what they like. Watch the swimmer in lane number 6, young Bobby Gishard. She's 16 years of age now, from the Aquanights.
What a great study in starting from backstrokers. They've all got slightly different techniques, but gee, that was great to see. Bobby Gishard, one of the most outstanding prospects we have in New Zealand.
And there's a second one there in lane number 3 it is, and that's Gabrielle Fahamasili from the Harlequins team. These 2 swimmers are just absolutely outstanding. Fahamasili is more known for her straight out sprinting. Bobby Gishard more in the 100 to the 200. But Fahamasili has just blitzed this field. Boy, she looks good. 6 weeks away from Nationals.
She hands over to Mary Tate. That's at the top there, and there she is in the white cap, Mary Tate from Harlequins. Caitlin Delaney will be on the inside of her from Marco's. Not in that shot at the moment. We just spread out and have a look, see the advantage they have. Gee, the other 3 are fighting out for second at the moment. Down at the bottom is Kendall Reedy of Aquanights. She's in 2nd place.
Now have a look at the changeovers. Really important that these swimmers, some of them will use the swing arm changeover, some will just stay static on the blocks. Really, it's something that you have to rehearse and practice. Unfortunately, these as regional teams haven't had enough time to get together and really rehearse this, but we'll see a little bit more proficiency amongst these older swimmers.
So Helena Gasson there leading, continuing this lead for Harlequins in lane 3. Hands over to Laura Quilter, New Zealand representative, very often, and seldom does she get a lead like this. Well, she'll take advantage.
Unless she's created that lead herself, and she has made that her own leads in the past, because she's represented New Zealand on numerous occasions. But looking strong, Laura Quilter, the 23-year-old. A lot of experience there in the Harlequins team, but so led off so well by Gabrielle Fahamasili.
Another victory for Harlequins. This is the 16 and over women medley relay, 200 medley relay. Laura Quilter, Commonwealth Games and Pan Pac's representative, and she brings the team home after an outstanding first up swim by Gabriella Fahamasili.
That's a big win for the Harlequins. Because you've got to be careful. You can throw everything at it and you can win by a big margin, but you end up being so exhausted because all these swimmers have to swim. I think it's 3 events, individual events, plus 2 relays that they're allowed to swim. So, you know, it's a big program and you don't want to be exhausted at the end of it all. And you've got to remember, John, they're swimming events here because they're swimming for their team, events that they don't normally swim.
So will Harlequins make it another victory? Here they are for the senior men's 200-metre medley relay. In lane 3 for Harlequins is Willie Katsier from North Shore.
Sorry, lane 3 is Aquanights. Harlequins in lane number 4.
Yes, Aquanights, Burfield Mills, Marco's Andrew Trembath, and All-Stars it's Blake Gunn.
So Aquanights, Waikato Bay of Plenty, Hawke's Bay, Poverty Bay and Taranaki combination.
Team that contains New Zealand representative Bradley Ashby. He'll be swimming in the 3rd leg. They're nice and relaxed, a lot of these swimmers. They're here to enjoy as much as compete. But now it's time for competing.
Quite contrasting styles on the start there. Coetzee in lane number 4 representing the Harlequins. A lot more upright off the start and certainly has probably the biggest advantage. But now Andrew Trembrath, the 19-year-old from the Southern Marcos, getting into his work along with Blake Gunn, the 20-year-old from the All-Stars team. But it looks as if it is going to be Trembrath in lane number 5. First off the blocks now.
Taking over is George Schroeder for Southern Marcos. The breaststroker in the silver grey camp here. Schroeder, we've seen a lot of him at national championships. Jacob Garrett to his left, and to his right is Ben Walsh for All Stars. Up at the top is Elliot London Moore for Aquanites.
So you'll notice a lot of these swimmers are carrying more facial hair than what you'll ever see at the Olympic trials in 6 weeks' time. So what they'll do is come closer to the meet. They will shave everything off altogether to get a better feel in the water. But at the moment, it's all about hard training, heavy training. And of course, this meet lends itself to that because it's part of their hard training.
Matthew Phillips from Whanganui representing Marcos. They're hunting him down, and in particular, Max Polyansky in the white cap.
Well, Polyansky's so versatile. He's just a blessing to have in a team, particularly in this format, because he can swim any stroke. And he's so valuable when it comes to the medleys as well, because he puts those 4 strokes together.
Michael Finlay trying to bring home Marcos. Can sense the pressure coming. Daniel Hunter on his left from Harlequins. Hunter, outstanding. What a finish we've got here.
Well, Hunter is the New Zealand record holder and champion, but it's just going to be beaten right at the finish. And the Marcos take out their first victory. They'll be thrilled with that, because I'm sure that Hunter would have thought that he would have rolled over the top. As a true sprinter right now, Hunter will be hating this sort of meet because he'll be in really heavy work. Sprinters hate heavy work.
Yeah. Part of the deal, though, isn't it? And Marcos, look at the time difference, 1:44.04 to 1:44.17. Aquanites third, All Stars in 4th place.
Well, you can also see that it was so small, 0.1 of a second, but that was also the experience of Daniel Hunter in the finish as well. The 21-year-old. I mean, this guy is just talent, and one to really watch in New Zealand swimming right now.
Well, we've had 4 events so far, and they've all been relays using the new starting equipment for the backstroke. Saw a great first event, and that was the one by the All-Stars at the women's 15 and under. But then we saw Harlequins picking up the next 2 women's events, and the men as well. Became a thrilling finish. And this one here between Daniel Hunter and Michael Finlay, with Hunter just failing to catch Finlay. So after those first 4 events, Harlequins and Marcos, they're the top 2. Knights and All-Stars, 3rd and 4th.
So John, on the graphic there we see Joker double points. I think it's important to explain that. So every team has an option of running what we call a joker. So they can select an individual in the open men's or the open women's or the junior women's, junior men's. You have one joker player that you can put out there, and they will get double points if whatever their points position is. So if they win, they'll get 26 times 2, they'll get 52 points.
First of the individual events then. It's a women's 13 and over 400 IM. So each of the zones has 2 swimmers, and we do have a joker. We can just see they're wearing a black and pink cap, and in lane 5 it'll be Maya Rasmussen of All Stars. Now, she did exactly the same last year and went on for double points with a victory, and she's a very strong breaststroke swimmer. And she's not featuring there as yet. Oh yes, there we see. Now we'll have a look through these teams. We're starting down here at Nikki Chapman, up at the top. Nikki Chapman of All Stars, Jenna Bain of Aquanites, Holly Parker, Kate Godfrey, Maya Rasmussen in 5, Ruby Matthews, Ellie Eastwood and Hannah Bates. So 1 through to 8. There you see the black cap with the pink stripes through the center of it. That is a joker cap, and it's being played by All Stars.
Yeah, Ryan Rasmussen, she's only 15 years of age, so this is 13 and over. So what we're doing now is we're not breaking it into the 15 and under and 16 and over. It's a combination, and she's swimming as the 15-year-old. She is the New Zealand age group record holder in the 13 years, 14 years and 15 years 400 individual medley. So this is her event. She is more known for her butterfly and probably probably the breaststroke that we'll see her dominate. So we've seen her take out the first leg, the 100 metres butterfly. She's not a natural backstroker. There's a bit of a jerk in that stroke. The head stays pretty still, but she just needs a bit better flow in terms of her arms. We talk about it a bit like music. You want to have a metronome type effect in the backstroke. She has a bit of a stop-start in this backstroke. But part of that is just a little bit of a rough kick. You can see it. It's not a continuous kick when we get the coming under the underwater there. Nice turn, though, from her. Great underwater work, but she just needs to let that leg flow from side to side, get a bit more rotation out of both her shoulders and her hips.
Kate Godfrey is coming up in the grey cap, and she's from Neptune, Marcos. She's been to the World University Games. She's a New Zealand Open medal winner several times. Kate Godfrey, 22 years of age, from Dunedin. She's in second place, and down here we can see it's Hannah Bates of Marco. So we've got to talk too about the fact that now into individual events, there's 8 lots of points up for grabs. So someone finishing, say, 3rd and 5th, you know, as long as the second swimmer finishes high up as well, then you really can benefit greatly from all of these races.
Yeah, really, you're looking at not just the winner of the event, but you're looking at your second swimmer out there, and you're hoping, like anything, that they're not going to be last or second to last. If they can spring up and get into 3rd to last, rather, you know, in other words, say 6th position, then that's a lot better for them. So it's all about mitigating losses more than anything else. But boy, this is a very impressive leg by the 15-year-old.
We also must, way up at the top there in lane 1, that was Nikki Chapman, who's the second All-Stars swimmer. So she's just turning now at the top. And so, as we were talking about getting valuable points in the middle of the field as well, this is looking quite good for All-Stars, because she, I think, is in 4th place at the moment.
That's cool. Oh, no, she's probably fading a little bit into 6th position in this breaststroke leg. But if she can maintain that again, that's really important. So if you look at it, if you can get into the top 4, if you can get 2 of your swimmers out of the 8 in the top 4, that is special. That is really, really special. But if you can get into 5th position as your second swimmer, then you are the winner of the bottom 4 as well. So you're kind of looking at those combinations and those computations.
Maya Rasmussen leads out of the breaststroke as we expected, and now she's off in the final discipline, the freestyle. Maya Rasmussen wearing the black and the pink cap. That's the Joker's cap. She's a 15-year-old from Kiwi West Aquatics, New Zealand age group record holder.
So, John, what'll be interesting here is Myra Rasmussen. I mean, she's clearly won this event. She probably needs to just cut it back a little bit if you swim tactically, because you need to swim for your team. Now, you've got 3 other individual events that you are doing. Now, she's going to get because she's wearing the Joker, she wants to make sure she gets maximum points. Equally, you look at the person like Kate Godfrey in lane number 4, currently in 2nd. There's no point her trying to push this hard. She might as well just hang on for 2nd and just float her way into this and get 2nd position clearly. What's going to be important now is where is the other All-Stars swimmer, Nikki Chapman, in lane number 1. So we've got Rasmussen from All-Stars taking out the gold. Nikki Chapman on the far side of the pool, currently in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, could be in 5th or 6th. So she needs to fight and dig really deep there. If she can get into 5th, that is going to be better for them.
Nikki Chapman touches at the top, and according to the board, in 6th place. So that still gives her 4, 5, 6, 8 points. So that will be a 52 plus 8. That's 60 points out of this race.
Yeah, so they'll be really pleased. I mean, have a look at the difference between 5th and 6th, though. There was just nothing in that.
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 seconds, 0.8 versus 6th position, 5 minutes, 10.9. So 0.1, you go, God, why didn't I just dig that little bit deeper?
You'll notice they don't wait to clear the pool before the next race starts.
Another Joker here, John.
Yeah. So there's the result. All-Stars, that was Myra Rasmussen with the Joker, finishing 1st, and in 6th place too. All-Stars getting good points out of this race. Well, the swimmers have got the time to clear the pool, because there will be adjustments made to the start Here we go. They're just waiting for them to get up now on the blocks. They're just waiting to clear.
Yeah, to play your joker, you've got to be extremely confident.
We've got it. Yeah, we see the joker's cap there. Looking third swimmer in.
So this is Hamish Trillin from the All-Stars team, and lane number 6 is the joker.
So from the Capital Club, more known as a distance freestyle style swimmer, but also very accomplished in all disciplines. That's the reason he's got the cap on. He's going to be pushed along too. So Hamish Trillin from All Stars, to his right is Rahu of Southern Marcos. Down here in lane 1 is Jack Kelleher of Harlequins. And it's the 2 in the centre of the pool, Marcos and All Stars, turning first after 50 metres of fly.
Oh, look, that was a really, really good turn by Hamish Trillin, the young swimmer. Well, he's not so young. He's 18 years of age, from the All-Stars team, wearing the joker cap. Great underwater, very fast turn. Well, he's in a bit of a battle here for first and second. In lane number 5, right beside him, is Jordan Rahuru from the Southern Marcos. So they'll just want to make sure that they suck in the big breaths here coming into the turn. You don't want to lose any speed going into the wall. You want good distance off the walls, a couple of dolphin kicks. You probably want to try and get a little bit more. That's conditioning. But Hamish Trillin in lane number 6 from the All-Stars team, wearing the joker, second at the New Zealand Short Course Nationals in the 1500 freestyle. So he's got great endurance. But if you can train a 400 medley, you're training for endurance because you're working all of your strokes. But he's going to have a hard battle here. Marco's looking very good.
So 3 in the centre now. It's the man with the joker's cap turning in second place. That's Trillin behind Rahu of Marcos. And on the other side, Callum Prime in lane 4 from Harlequins.
Well, Callum Prime's only 16 years of age in lane number 4 from the Harlequins Club. Just also, John, notice that the teams change lanes on every single event, so you can't just stick with the lanes. You get a flavour for the middle of the pool and the outside lanes as well.
We also, of course, have to keep a lookout for where the second swimmers are in this race. And for Hamish Trillin, who now moves into the lead, yes, the All-Star swimmer is in front in the breaststroke. Up at the top there in lane 2, second from the top, in fact, is the second of the All-Star swimmers now. He's in 8th position.